Hello, welcome to the Garden Gurus. I'm Trevor Cochrane. This is such a wonderful time of the year to get out and get into the garden. There's so many joys all around, and we'll show you how to garden successfully in our challenging environment. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Maintaining Australian native plants is easy with Sue's top tips. Bonnie shows us how to style your indoor plants, and Darren builds an easy DIY raised dog bed.
Gardening with Australian plants makes so much sense. Not only are they water-wise, but they support habitats. And there seems to be a native plant for almost any situation. And there's an increased interest in growing Australian plants, regardless whether you've got a balcony, a space for a few pots, or a sprawling garden like this. Gardening under established trees is one of the hardest positions to fill in the garden. As young plants try to take hold, fine feeder roots of the established trees quickly develop to rob all the water and nutrients meant for small plants. That's why in this situation, planting a little bigger is often better. Not all native plants are sensitive to fertilisers. There's actually the phosphorus in many formulations that cause plants of the Proteaceae family to die. This Grevillea winter delight, well, that's one that's sensitive. Also includes hakeas and banksias, and there's so many of them around. They look fantastic in our gardens. Now, when we plant these, you'll see specialised roots, and those roots have been formed to take phosphorus out of our phosphorus-deficient soils. And if we give them the wrong fertiliser, well, that's when the problems start. All natives will respond to having some fertiliser added to the hole, and Power Feed All-Purpose is well suited to using on grevilleas. Drench the hole before planting and water plants in with the solution. Lots of things happen with this fertiliser that you're not going to see. It contains liquid compost that helps break up the clay, but at the same time in sandy soils holds the nutrients for plants. Another plant that's going to benefit from Power Feed going into the hole before planting is the Leptospermum starry nice. Now, this is fantastic. Has these beautiful large white flowers with soft weeping burgundy foliage. Now, we're using it as a screen here, but it also does really well in a pot. You're helping me, Chili. When selecting native plants for the garden, not only select for flowers, look at the foliage. Australian plants have a broad range of leaf forms, shapes and textures. One of the reasons I fall for these local beauties, I'm fascinated by foliage. Ongoing maintenance of natives is easy also. To avoid having to get stuck into the garden and prune back hard every few years, good maintenance advice is to nip the growth tip out of the shrubs at different times of the year. I tend to do it every time I take a walk around the garden. Pluck a few growth tips here and there. Everywhere there's a leaf on all plants, there's a dormant bud. And feeding a large native garden is easy. Grab a hose on pack, click it onto the end of the hose, and go for it.
What about this beautiful bamboo here, folks, Timor Black? It's a clumping variety and it can get really big, but it's spectacular in an Asian-style garden or where you've got room to create a screen with a lot of drama. The culms come up green to start with, and then they age to this beautiful dark black. And a few points on bamboo: if you are going in ground, it's really best to stick to a clumping variety. The invasive running varieties, unless they're really well constrained, can cause you all sorts of problems in the garden and come up everywhere and be a real nightmare. So in ground, best to stick to clumping.
Having a garden filled with flowers is one sure way to attract pollinators into our gardens. And if you've dreamed of having a pollinator-friendly garden but you lack the space, why not try growing a pollinator's haven in a pot? Choosing a selection of plants that will flower at different stages of the year can help to ensure that there will be long-lasting supply of pollen and nectar for our bees. When creating these mixed planters, I like to group at least 3 to 4 different plants together. For this first mix, I've chosen out a bunch of bright colours which bees are really attracted to. And we've got this classic lavender, which is a staple plant in any pollinator garden. And these new hybrid forms are nice and neat and tidy and will suit a pot beautifully. Next is a beautiful dreamiera, which has a grass mounding growth habit with these large glow flowers which act as a beacon for the pollinators. Then we have bitters, which is a fantastic plant as it's very high in pollen, making it the ultimate meal source. The last plant going into this combination is Leomium presii blue. This is another great plant to attract pollinators to your garden, and it's extremely long-lasting. For the second planter, I've picked out a selection of mixed herbs such as thyme and oregano, and then paired them up with this beautiful bittern. To keep these thriving and flourishing in the garden, I'll pop them in a nice sunny spot, and I'll even put them near my edible crops so they can help with the cross-pollination. And for something like this, I'll be watering them once to twice a week, but once we get into the warmer months, definitely in summer, I'll be looking at them daily. Don't forget to deadhead the spent flowers and to feed with either a granular or soluble fertilizer. I like using Troforte pots and planters as it will keep all these plants fed over the next few months. Having a beautiful mixed planter just like these is great for cross-pollination and increasing your plant's productivity in the garden. And they create a safe haven for all these friendly little critters that come into our backyards. And you know what? They won't have to travel as far to find a great food source.
Spring is here, and how great has this weather been? Plenty of sunshine, cool evenings, and even a little bit of rain. But we can't get too complacent. Summer will be here before we know it, and now is the time to get your gardens summer ready. To help out, I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips to help you save plenty of water in your gardens right through the summer months. Tip number 1, apply a wetting agent. Act now. Don't wait for your lawns or garden to show signs of stress or dehydration first. A top quality wetting agent, either liquid or granule, applied in spring can help ensure your plants and lawns are ready for the arrival of the hot, dry weather. And always remember to water in well after application. My second tip is to plant local, native, endemic plants in your garden. This is another great way to cut back on the amount of water you need to use in your garden. Local native plants are naturally suited to our hot, dry climate and will thrive with far less water than other plants. And as an added bonus, they're also beautiful plants and will attract native birds and insects into your garden. Tip number 3 is mulching. It's a simple, easy and economical way to improve the water efficiency levels of any garden. Use a coarse, chunky mulch that will allow any rain or irrigation water to easily pass through it and move into the soil below where it's needed. Apply approximately 70 millimetres thick, and remember, keep clear of your plant stems. My 4th water-wise tip is that if you still have one of these old-fashioned cumbersome irrigation controllers, now is a perfect time to say goodbye to old technology and welcome a modern, brilliantly designed smart controller into your life. Smart controllers are connected to your home Wi-Fi and are able to harvest massive amounts of weather data from the internet to automatically modify your program runtimes to save water and keep your garden looking great. They are so easy to use and are able to be accessed remotely. Brilliant. Lastly, but certainly not least, I implore you to plant more trees. Shady gardens are cooler, healthier, and use less water to keep the plants and lawns in tip-top condition. Shade-giving trees lower the evaporation rate in the garden. Therefore, less moisture is lost from the soil, so your plants won't get anywhere near as heat-stressed. Cool, shady gardens are also fantastic news for their gardeners. Well, there you go. 5 pretty cool tips to help keep your garden in great condition right through summer and to help you save a fair bit of water. Best of luck, and I hope you enjoy your summer.
Well, this is upcycling on a grand scale. If you've got an old truck in your backyard and you don't know what to do with it, well, goes to reason, doesn't it? Put a plant in it. Now, these are Hardenbergias, the native wisteria. They are fantastic and will grow absolutely anywhere, under the shade of big trees or in the full sun.
Indoor plants can be a great way to transform and even enhance our living spaces. By utilising certain features of plants, you can add a lot of fun colours and textures to a room. And one of the best things about having plants indoors is that you can get creative. So how do you style and care for them? When I'm styling a neutral coloured room and I'm looking to add some colour, these are my go-to plants. We've got beautiful philodendron and ficus elastica, and these are fantastic plants to fill up a space in a really quick period of time, and they're also really easy to look after, and they'll add that tropical lush feel to your home. If your home is quite modern, using plants with statement foliage will really hit the mark. And if you're looking for structure, why not try a sansevieria? These plants are great for adding height, but they also have these beautiful strong stems. If you're considering a more rustic feel, look for plants with lots of soft textures and graceful foliage. So your maidenhair ferns and your spathiphyllums do a really nice job of this, and they can help soften any harsh lines in your home and give you that beautiful Scandinavian feel. If you dream of having an indoor jungle but lack the space, why not try trailing plants? Epipremiums come in all sorts of colours, and they are perfect to have perched up on a shelf where their foliage can be left to cascade. By grouping your plants in odd numbers, so 3s or even 5s, can add a lot of depth to your room. And always put your tallest plant to the back and then stagger your smaller ones to the front. It's almost like painting a picture, playing with the colours and textures of your plants. Now that we have our styles, caring for our plants is the secret to keeping them thriving. There are indoor plants that will suit bright and low light, but one thing that all indoor plants need is a good watering routine and feeding throughout the year. Feeding your plants with granular or soluble fertilizers a few times a year will do wonders. And a feed that I've been using a lot this season is Scott's Osmocote Mist and Feed, which is really easy to use. It can be applied straight onto the foliage where your plant will absorb the fertilizer and micronutrients directly. All that's left to do is to give this plant a really good misting, and this is odourless, which means there's no nasty smells in your house and it won't leave any residue on your plants either. And you can apply it once a week or when your plants are looking quite hungry, and as a result you'll get nice green healthy leaves and a happier plant too. Whatever your plant feeding needs are, this indoor range will keep your plant's foliage looking beautifully green and glossy. These tips will help you create a colourful, relaxing and creative space in your home that will continue to grow and flourish for many years to come.
If you're lucky enough to get a bunch of flowers like this recently, you would notice that there's often Gerberas in them. Now, Gerberas as a cut flower, they're absolutely fantastic. They always look exotic and last for weeks. What you may not know is they are also a fantastic garden plant. And when you put them in the ground, they will last forever. It's like having your own living bunch of flowers. Gerberas in their native habitat grow in subtropical climates, so they're suited to most areas of Australia. That means they'll cope with the warm conditions and sunny position. They are absolutely fantastic. Gerberas do so well in large pots or garden beds. They look fantastic planted next to roses as a border. They respond brilliantly to liquid fertiliser over the foliage and around the root system. And because they clump up as they grow, in a few years' time you can divide them easily, and you do that at this time of the year. And one little tip when you're dividing them is don't plant the crown any deeper than the original soil level, because otherwise they'll rot. So get onto it, plant some Gerberas for your garden today.
Well, this has to be one of my all-time favourite plants. I love it. It's beautiful mauve flowers when they first come out are heavenly fragrant. It's called Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow. And it gets its name because on the first day, the flowers are beautiful and mauve like that. On the second day, they turn to a soft pink before turning white on their very last day. It really is an easy shrub to grow. It loves acidic soils, a sunny spot, and it will just produce masses of flower, particularly if you do it in a nice little standard like this. How's that for great advice?
Spring is the season for DIY projects. But what projects can you do that are simple, easy and fun? And what materials are the easiest to use that require little in the way of tools or specialist skills? Well, Holman Easy Fit fittings certainly fit the bill, providing options aplenty for great, practical fun in the garden. Holman Easy Fit fittings are available in 15, 20, 25, 32 and 40mm sizes with a range of crosses and joints. This makes them suitable for a whole raft of DIY projects that can be easily adapted and modified. They are made right here in Australia from recycled PVC, which is a fantastic use of a potential waste product. One great project for spring is a garden cover or plant cage. They are a good solution for helping your plants grow without the use of pesticides, while protecting your precious seedlings from the elements. The Easy Fit fittings allow for a customisable structure, which is great for when you need to add more height as your plants get taller. Another great DIY project involves making a PVC raised dog bed for Woolly Dog here. Making him a comfortable place to sleep will be an easy task that requires only a few materials. Start by measuring out your frame to suit the size of your dog. We're using 20mm PVC pipe, which is easy to work with. Cut the pipe into 8 total pieces, so you have 4 legs and 4 pieces for your frame. Then add the end caps to the legs of the bed and assemble. To finish, add an outdoor fabric to the frame. Lay out your chosen fabric and place the frame on top. Then simply make a 1/2 inch fold of fabric over the pipe structure and screw it to the pipe every 4 inches. Your dog will love having a place to lie down other than on the grass or the dirt. This project is straightforward to construct, lightweight and easy to keep clean. These customisable solutions make great frames for a range of projects, from kids' soccer goals, fishing rod holders, A-frames and even cubby houses. And they're easy to disassemble and store away when you're no longer using them.
Well, that's it for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you want to know anything from anything you've seen on today's show, best place to find out more is to check out our website. It's a great resource. And if you've got a specific question about something going on in your garden, maybe you'd like to share one of your successes, then simply become a friend on Facebook. You can join us on Mondays when we have our Garden Gurus Live Club. I'm Trevor Cochrane. I'm going to see you next week with all the gang for another great episode of the Garden Gurus.